Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you may be, wherever you may be, whenever you might be viewing this um, YouTube video. You are with the Reverend Bishop, Dr. Elder Apostle, rideshare, aka Charles Gardner. I am back from Greenville, Mississippi, and ready to provide you with more information regarding Uber and Lyft. Welcome to another video. I like to bring you all these videos because when I first signed up for Uber and Lyft, there was so much I didn't know. And so I was coming to videos such as this to try and get some pointers and tips so that once I got out there and started driving, I could feel rather competent and more comfortable about what I was doing. Because between dealing with these apps, the people, and the streets, there's so much we can talk about. So I'll be uploading these videos on a regular basis. So whenever I encounter some issue that may be relevant, I'll bring you some information. So today we want to talk briefly about the issue of illegal parking on certain city streets. Whether you are doing this in LA, New York, Atlanta, Miami, Jackson, Mississippi, St. Louis, Milwaukee, wherever you might be doing it, it is likely that there are areas in metropolitan areas, particularly your downtown areas and other areas in the city, where it's illegal to park, particularly as it pertains to dropping off and picking up rideshare passengers. And one of the things you don't learn when you're signing up for Uber and Lyft is that there is a such thing as illegal places where you can pick up people and drop them off. And if you're not careful, the police will pull you over while you're doing Uber and write you a ticket because they observed you dropping somebody off or picking somebody up in the wrong spot. Okay. Why is this the case? I'm going to explain, give an incident that happened with me recently. And I discovered this, actually, I'm not going to say it's the hard way because it wasn't like a police stopped me and gave me a ticket. I just realized where I was and realized how potentially dangerous this can be. And that's when I decided to look up more information and do some research, and I figured this shit out. So I pick up one day I pick up a rider near downtown Chicago, and he's going to 141 West Jackson. Get him in the car. As we approach 141 West Jackson, traveling eastbound on Jackson, the Google Map app has me to make a right turn on a side street. Jackson is traveling east and west, but it has me make a right turn on a side street going south. Yeah, going south. And so when I stopped the car, it says, you have arrived at your destination. So when I stopped and put the car in park, I looks at the rider and say, okay, this looks like about where you're supposed to be. He looks at me and says, I don't know. I'm not familiar with this place. This is the first time I've been here. And I wasn't exactly sure whether or not this was the right spot either. 95% of us that do Uber and Lyft, no matter where we're doing it, we're not very familiar with the city that we're driving in. Okay. It isn't like we are former messenger service drivers or cab drivers or chauffeur drivers. Many of us we're electricians, we're barbers. We do any number of jobs non-driving related. And so suddenly we are driving now. We're not very familiar with the city. Okay. So we depend almost exclusively on where Waze and Google Maps takes us. So when I made that right turn and asked him, is this the right spot? He wasn't sure. I wasn't sure. I told him what I'll do is circle back around and we're going to make sure we put you directly in front of 141 West Jackson. He said, cool, I appreciate that. Thanks. It took me about 5 minutes in this congested area and traffic to get him back around to the right spot. However, when I got to 141 West Jackson and parked the car for him to get out, guess where I was? I was right in the middle of a T intersection. Yeah. There was a red light there, a traffic light there, and oncoming cars coming directly towards 141 West Jackson. In other words, if there had been a drunk driver and he wasn't watching where he was going, he could have ran straight through the doors of 141 West Jackson. This entrance is located right on a T intersection. Okay, so you're not supposed to let riders out or pick them up at 141 West Jackson. That's why the app had me, directed me to make that right turn on that side street as to not impede traffic or create a dangerous traffic situation for other drivers or pedestrians. I didn't know that. I could have been given a ticket for that if a police had spotted me doing that. Because police officers do give Uber and Lyft riders tickets for dropping off and picking up in the wrong spot. Many of these spots say no stopping, no parking. Okay. And so, many times the app, be it Uber or Lyft or any other apps you may have for, GPS, will direct you to the appropriate spot so that you don't endanger people and other drivers trying to pick somebody up and drop them off. Okay. In the city of Chicago, if you happen to be driving in the city of Chicago, such places, for example, are on Michigan Avenue between Oak Street and Roosevelt Road, State Street, the Loop area in general, Wacker Drive to Congress Parkway, for example, Madison Street, Michigan Avenue to Wacker Drive due to the bus lane. Other areas is like North Sheridan Road. Okay. In that Devon Avenue, Loyola University area. to Hollywood Avenue, North Avenue Beach, just east of Lakeshore Drive, Wrigley Field, for example, parts of Comiskey Park, particularly during White Sox games. Any CTA bus, you're not supposed to pick up or deliver any riders at a CTA bus station. Pick up, okay? It's for CTA buses only. Now, the purpose of the video is not to give you a detailed description of every place where you can and cannot pick someone up. Okay, I'm giving you spots, for example, here in Chicago, if you happen to be driving in Chicago. Okay, I'm not familiar with other cities in the US. What the purpose of this video is to let you know, as an Uber and Lyft driver, to go home or pull out your smartphone and Google this stuff so that you'll have the information in your city, wherever you drive, to look this stuff up. There are spots in your city where you can and cannot pick up riders. Okay, and most riders do not know this. Most riders don't know this. Most Uber and Lyft drivers don't know this. And so you may have a rider, for example, that wants you to pick them up in the wrong spot, or might want you to drop them off in the wrong spot. You can be fined by the police if you are absorbed doing this. And I'm telling you, even though in one video I was telling you that as Uber and Lyft drivers you can make pretty decent money out there, I guarantee you ain't making enough money to pay no damn ticket because you picked somebody up or dropped them off in the wrong damn spot. You ain't getting paid like that. Okay, so these are things you need to know. If you didn't know, now you know. Go home or get in your car, pull out your phone, look this stuff up. Make sure you're not one of the drivers that will get ticketed and fined for picking up folks and dropping them off in the wrong spot. All right? This is the Reverend Bishop Dr. Rideshare getting ready to sign off.